Hi, I'm Rob Morris. I'm the president of Robert W. Morris and Company. We're a family business, and we were established in 1981. Our headquarters are near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, but we do operate a virtual practice.
My name is Gina Johnson, and I'm the chief of staff at Robert Morris and Company, and I work out of our New Bloomfield office.
Some of the challenges that got us thinking about automating in our practice, well, we have a few. So we have multiple locations and we operate a virtual practice. And that in itself presents some unique challenges. And we were at a place where we were delivering our tax product on paper and then 3 or 4 different ways electronically. And we really needed to streamline that. And we're also at a crossroads where we needed to hire some more administrative help. So we just got to this place where we had to make some decisions. SafeSend came along and revolutionized this process for us.
I actually came from more of the administrative function before I went into the role I am currently. So I had firsthand experience with the old process that we had, which is a lot of paper. There's a lot of moving parts. So it was extremely helpful when we could take all that out, most of it. And it was also a breath of fresh air for the administrative team as a whole, because they were able to get through returns so quickly, rather than taking, so many steps to do one return. It was just like SafeSend, one step, done.
We were introduced to SafeSend a number of ways, but I think the primary way is from Rootworks. We're a Rootworks member firm, and we had watched a couple of webinars that they presented, and it just really seemed that was going to be our best option. So the implementation process with SafeSend was incredible. For lack of a better term. At our own firm, we're always looking to have a good onboarding process for our clients. And so we've actually stolen some of the ideas from SafeSend in our own processes. It's very clean, it was laid out well, and our implementer held our hand throughout the entire process. So we've been using UltraTax for 20 years, and we always felt that we had to use one of the Thomson Reuters solutions for our tax return delivery, but that's not the case. And we were so pleased to find that SafeSend just works seamlessly with UltraTax and some of the other Thomson Reuters apps. So that was a real blessing in tax season, because again, in tax season, you don't have the opportunity to have it go wrong. It just has to work, and it was seamless.
I agree with Rob 100%. It was a very seamless process. I don't think we ever felt like we didn't understand what was supposed to happen. It was all laid out very nicely for us, and it was less work for us on our end to get it people using it and understanding how to work, because there's so much in terms of training and documentation already laid out for us. So it was, again, there was less pressure on us and having to, figure it out on our own. It allowed us to do things at a much quicker pace, and we were able to push out more returns at a time rather, than before, when it was a multiple step process. It's a single step, and it just allowed more work to get out the door.
The experience for our clients compared to what we were using before, it's like night and day. We've received positive feedback, pretty much only positive feedback. And we delivered over 1,300 tax returns on SafeSend this year. So I think that's a pretty good gauge. So it was much more user-friendly than what we were using. The clients receive just a simple email. They don't have to remember passwords and complicated login information, which alleviated a lot of calls back on my staff and saved us time, saved them time, removed quite a bit of friction and pain points.
Yeah, I would say any pain points that may have come up as well with that, they were very easy to solve. So it was just, there were little things maybe here and there, and we could easily solve it. It wasn't, compared to our prior process, it wasn't as painful, I guess you could say, or painful at all for them. And there weren't as many issues.
Anytime you make an investment in something or you make a change, and it's not just a monetary investment, it's a time investment that you put in because your staff has to learn a new process. You want to try to put a number on that, like what is the saving, what's my return on the investment, and that's a challenging thing to do. And in tax season, I think like most firms, we're all working hard. We're just trying to survive it. We're trying to hold on. SafeSend helped us do that, but to put a number on that, because we were able to do this with one less administrative staff, we easily saved $17,000 to $20,000 in salary expense, and the time savings was significant, and also the frustration and pain points that we didn't have because it worked so well. I don't know how you measure that, other than I know I slept much better at night. What's that worth? I mean, when you're sleeping well during the busiest season because your processes are working well and your staff isn't complaining.
We did calculate this, and I'm going to try to remember what the number was. I think our prior process, let's say start to finish, could be, 15, 20 minutes, if I'm remembering, and if I'm wrong, Rob, let me know. With SafeSend, it was more like within, 5 minutes it was done. So just because of that 100% electronic process, it was seamless, so it took less time, and there's not, that many steps. So yeah, our old process was pretty close to 15, 20 minutes from start to finish. In the beginning, we were told, and I cannot remember her name, so I apologize, but the woman that we worked with, she reassured us that, her main focus during tax season is to be there for us. And she wasn't kidding. She, anytime that I had a problem or a question, she responded right away. Or the customer service team, when we messaged them through SafeSend, were always Johnny on the spot, super helpful. And so that was, that helped a lot. And I really appreciated that. Because we don't have a lot of time during tax season. We kind of want everything right now just to get it done. And so that was, when she said that, she definitely stuck to her word with that.
If I was talking to a colleague and they were wondering if they should start using SafeSend now versus waiting until maybe a slower time, I'd probably tell them to start as soon as possible, start right away. Tax season is an interesting time because there is no time, and you just have to do it. You need to take that step, and I know the time savings for us and the ease of implementation for us, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. So I would tell them that I would encourage them to start right away. I wouldn't give it a second thought. I would just simply tell them that the SafeSend solution is most likely going to be better. We've used 2 or 3 e-signature solutions before SafeSend, and they don't pass muster. SafeSend just blows them away, hands down. The process with SafeSend is it's just simpler, and it's easier for our clients to understand. We love our clients. Sometimes they can't get out of their own way. And so the fact that SafeSend allows you to just put in one email for a married couple as opposed to having both emails in when you start, as silly as that sounds, that's actually a pretty big game changer. So yeah, SafeSend is far superior. And we also now use SafeSend in place of some other web apps like Adobe Sign, and we use SafeSend to have our clients sign our contracts and things like that.
I think that, just basing our experience with our last process, we had SafeSend is an all-in-one type thing. So there's no, okay, you're going to do this part here, but then you're going to go to this program and send this for signature here. It's all in one wonderful product, and it's very easily for us to figure out in terms of placing signatures, and it's also easy for the client to figure out when signing. So it's self-explanatory, basically.
We were using multiple tools to deliver and gather e-signatures, and it was seriously challenging. So in the past, we were using multiple tools to gather electronic signatures and do tax return delivery. And by switching to SafeSend, we were able to eliminate a number of extra processes and that we had to document and follow, and it really enabled us to avoid confusion. Sometimes, if you're using 3 or 4 apps for the same type of thing, then you don't necessarily know where to look for the return signatures. So by having the single solution in SafeSend, it really just elevated my team so that they didn't have to stress about where things are located. What app are we going to use to send this contract? Or are we using this web app for the e-signatures for corps? Are we using this app for, individuals because of the KBA, authentication and so forth? So it really just streamlined our processes and ultimately just saved us time, and it reduced mistakes.
From a training standpoint, training our admin staff on one process and one program is so much easier than trying to explain several different platforms and what this one does and why, and you need to use this for that. It can be, for someone too who might be not comfortable with technology, SafeSend is way easier for that because it is all in one and they don't have to worry about all these extra things on the side. A big part of that when you're deciding on spending money on an app or new process, you base that a lot on how it was sold to you and the people that you speak with from that company. And SafeSend did a great job, again, in terms of their presentation of SafeSend and explaining it. So I think that gave us a level of comfort as well when choosing your product and making it, kind of turning around how we do things right before tax season even started.
Yeah, pick one, right? The main reason we switched to SafeSend versus keeping what we already had in place was what we had in place just really wasn't working. It was creating a significant amount of friction for my team, and I didn't know how we were going to get through tax season with what we had. And we did have something that was kind of an industry standard, but we knew we had to make a change. And so that was the main reason we switched to SafeSend.